Cinderella sweeps the soot-filled kitchen floor. Tiny mice scurry around, eager to assist Cinderella. Birds chirp melodically from the window, filling the kitchen with a fleeting sense of joy. Thank you, friends. At least I have you to brighten my days. Stepmother enters the kitchen, her face twisted in a displeased glare. Cinderella, why isn't my tea ready? And these floors look filthy. Cinderella answers softly. I'm sorry, stepmother, I'll make the tea now. Anastasia is standing with hands on her hips and mouth open, voicing her displeasure. The scene unfolds in a sparsely decorated room, with sunlight. My dress needs mending, Cinderella. Hurry up. Anastasia demands. Drizella chimes in. You? Mend my gown? Don't ruin it, you clumsy girl. Cinderella quietly replies. I'll do my best. Stepmother extends a scroll towards Cinderella, the sunlight casting long shadows across the modest kitchen. Read this, aloud. Cinderella's voice trembles as she reads. By royal decree, all maidens are invited to a grand ball, where the prince seeks a bride. Anastasia dances around the kitchen, flushed with anticipation, as her bold claim rings out. I'll be the prince's bride. Drizella's face twists in envy before snapping at Cinderella. No, I will. Cinderella, make my gown dazzling. Stepmother watches with amusement before quipping. You, at the ball, in those rags? Don't be absurd. Cinderella, caught in her stepfamily's whirlwind, whispers wistfully. Oh, to go to the ball, just for one night. The mice and birds nudge fabric toward her. Cinderella smiles. My mother's old dress. Let's make it beautiful. In the kitchen, Cinderella stands radiant in her transformed gown, a vision of unexpected elegance. The stepmother and stepsisters enter, their faces contorted with shock and disbelief at the sight before them. The stepmother's voice cracks through the silence. What is this? Cinderella stands in the kitchen, her dress now torn. She whispers, My dress. I thought I could go to the ball. Anastasias neersiu, auchinus, Drizella equus, never. Cinderella, defeated, whispers. It's no use. A warm, ethereal glow floods the kitchen, announcing the arrival of Fairy Godmother. Cinderella stares, her eyes wide with disbelief. Dry those tears, my dear. You shall go to the ball. Fairy Godmother declares, her voice gentle. Who are you? Cinderella asks, her voice trembling. Bathed in a gentle, magical light, Fairy Godmother's eyes sparkle with warmth and anticipation. With a graceful flourish, she waves her wand, ready to conjure a transformation. Your Fairy Godmother. Now, let's work some magic. Before our very eyes, a pumpkin transforms into a magnificent coach, ready to whisk away its passengers. The mice transform into powerful horses. A loyal dog changes into a dignified footman, ready to serve. Fairy Godmother's eyes twinkle with mischief as she declares, and for you, with a flourish, Cinderella's rags ripple and transform into a shimmering gown and delicate glass slippers, a transformation so breathtaking, she stares, stunned. Cinderella gasps. It's beautiful, as the kitchen air crackles with magic. Bathed in ethereal light, the Fairy Godmother watches over Cinderella, her eyes filled with a mix of concern and hope. Cinderella, glowing in her enchanted gown, listens with rapt attention, a nervous flutter in her heart. Be back by midnight, or the magic will fade. Go, enjoy, the Fairy Godmother urges, her voice echoing with gentle power. Outside, the opulent coach awaits, ready to whisk Cinderella away into her dreams. The palace ballroom glitters, its vastness filled with guests in elaborate attire. Prince stands by a window, his expression a mask of utter boredom. The ballroom doors creak open, announcing Cinderella's arrival. Every head turns, all eyes now locked on Cinderella. In the radiant ballroom, Prince's subtle gesture draws attention to a mysterious figure across the room. Prince inquires softly. Who is she? The herald whispers in hushed tones. Unknown, Your Highness. Prince approaches Cinderella. May I have this dance? Prince asks. Cinderella accepts the prince's invitation. Yes, Your Highness. Under the palace ballroom's shimmering chandeliers, they dance in perfect harmony, lost in their own world. Stepmother and stepsisters watch from the edge of the dance floor, their faces contorted with envy. Anastasia's voice cuts through the music. Who is that girl? Drizella's jealousy boils over. She's stealing the prince. In the grand ballroom, the clock begins to chime midnight, shattering the enchantment. Cinderella, radiant and panicked, gasps as reality crashes in. "I must go," Cinderella cries, her voice a desperate plea against the impending doom. Cinderella, panicked, retreats from the grand ballroom, her gown a whirlwind of silk and lace. A single glass slipper falls from her foot and lands soundlessly on the cold marble floor. The prince watches her escape into the night, entranced. "Wait, your name!" His determination hardens. He vows, "I will find her." In the kitchen, Cinderella, clad in rags, clutches the remaining glass slipper. The stepmother enters, her eyes narrowed with suspicion. "Where were you last night?" the stepmother demands, her suspicion evident. Cinderella stands patiently by the hearth, her gentle eyes reflecting a hopeful spirit. Harold strides into the kitchen, holding a delicate glass slipper high. All maidens must try the glass slipper. The prince seeks its owner. The kitchen falls into stunned silence as all turn towards Harold. Anastasia struggles but fails. Her efforts are fruitless. Drizella attempts next, only to meet the same disappointing end. The stepmother watches, a cruel smile twisting her lips as she observes their futile efforts. With a dismissive wave, she declares, "That's all, leave." Cinderella steps forward, her voice trembling with hope. "May I try?" Stepmother's laughter echoes cruelly as she scoffs. "You? Impossible!" Stepmother shoves Cinderella roughly toward the attic, a flurry of tiny feet and whiskers as the mice steal the key. Cinderella, now freed, returns, her eyes shining with determination. Harold holds out the slipper to Cinderella in the clean kitchen. Harold says, "Try it." In the kitchen, Harold is visibly excited. Harold exclaims, "It's her!" Prince declares with devotion, "My love, I've found you." Stepmother reels, disbelief etched across her face. "This can't be." Prince, with gentle assurance, takes Cinderella's hand, offering a silent promise of a new beginning. Cinderella, radiating forgiveness and grace, declares, "I forgive you all." Sunlight streams into the simple kitchen, stillness filling the air. Prince's voice cuts through the silence. "Come, my bride." Inside the bright palace hall, Cinderella and Prince stand together, glowing. A herald's voice echoes through the grand hall, announcing the royal couple. The crowd responds with resounding cheers, their voices a unified roar of celebration. Cinderella and Prince stand together, their faces radiant with joy. The herald proclaims, presenting Prince and Princess happily wed. Cinderella and the Prince stand together, the palace hall bathed in a soft romantic light. Cinderella, overwhelmed with joy, whispers, "I never dreamed of such happiness." The prince responds tenderly, "With you, it's only the beginning." Cinderella and the prince stroll hand in hand through the radiant palace gardens. The sun bathes them in golden light, promising a bright future amidst the vibrant blooms. Cinderella returns to the palace kitchen, now a space transformed with memories and change. She observes the mice and birds, now pampered guests, a stark contrast to their previous lives. A gentle smile graces Cinderella's face as she reflects on her journey from humble servant to honored princess. Cinderella and the prince stand side by side, their happiness lighting up the grand ballroom. The orchestra fills the air with a lively waltz, stirring the souls of the guests. Cinderella, radiant in her gown, moves among the guests, her kindness touching every heart. She extends her hand, inviting the lonely and overlooked to share in the dance. From the window, stepmother and stepsisters watch the royal procession, their faces contorted with regret and envy. Cinderella notices their forlorn figures and signals for her carriage to halt. Cinderella emerges from her carriage, her gown shimmering as she steps into the sunlight. She advances toward her stepmother and stepsisters, a hopeful expression gracing her face. With unwavering hope, Cinderella extends an olive branch. "I offer you positions within the palace, not as servants but as advisors. Your unique perspectives can help govern the kingdom." Cinderella and the prince sit regally on their thrones, bathed in the gentle glow of stained glass windows. Their faces reflect a shared commitment to compassion, guiding their kingdom towards a brighter future. They enact laws with careful deliberation, championing the vulnerable and striving for equality. The throne room breathes with hope as their kingdom embarks on a transformative journey towards fairness. Cinderella walks through the bustling village market, a beacon of hope amidst the crowd. She stops to greet the villagers, listening attentively to their concerns. Her eyes scan the stalls, assessing the availability of goods and the prices being charged. With a determined nod, she begins to use her influence, subtly guiding merchants to lower prices. She orchestrates the distribution of resources, making sure that no one is left wanting. The atmosphere of the market shifts, replaced by a sense of unity and shared prosperity. In the quiet of the palace library, Cinderella immerses herself in books, bathed in the soft glow of knowledge. She stands among scholars and artists, fostering an environment where ideas flourish and creativity knows no bounds. Her determination to be a wise and capable ruler shines brightly as she listens intently to their insights and perspectives. Cinderella kneels in the palace gardens, her hands tenderly nurturing new life. Each bloom is a whisper of love, hope, and forgiveness, honoring her mother's memory. The sun casts a golden glow, illuminating Cinderella's face as she carries on her mother's legacy of kindness. Cinderella walks through the palace stables, bathed in sunlight streaming through the open doorway. She pauses, reaching out to stroke the soft muzzle of a white mare, her eyes reflecting quiet contemplation. She remembers the magic and glittering coach. She appreciates the simple beauty of life. Sunlight floods the palace, illuminating dancing dust motes as Cinderella sits, lost in thought. Her lips curve into a gentle smile as she rereads the words, her eyes sparkling with resolve. Cinderella stands by the window, the kingdom illuminated by the gentle moonlight. She contemplates her transformation, her heart swelling with gratitude for the kindness she has found. Cinderella and the prince arrive at the village school where children gather, their faces beaming with excitement. Cinderella and the prince sit among the children, their voices filling the air with stories of kindness. Cinderella and the prince emphasize the importance of kindness, compassion, and believing in oneself. They inspire the next generation to create a better world. Cinderella, back in the palace kitchen, seeks solace not in chores, but in the simple act of baking. She crafts a cake, a symbol of her joy, to share with the palace staff, spreading warmth throughout the palace. The aroma of baking fills the palace as Cinderella presents the cake. Cinderella stands in the sunlit art studio, a radiant smile lighting her face. She motions to local artists, their faces glowing with excitement. Cinderella commissions paintings and sculptures, her voice filled with warmth. She emphasizes the need to celebrate the kingdom's natural beauty. Inside the palace music room, Cinderella and the prince host an evening where harmony and healing fill the air. Musicians from all corners of the land gather, their instruments poised to weave melodies of unity and peace. Notes begin to fill the room, each chord a testament to the power of music to bridge divides and mend hearts. Cinderella walks through the palace armory, her footsteps echoing softly. She pauses, her gaze sweeping over the gleaming steel. A quiet understanding dawns on her face. Cinderella and the prince stand in quiet awe, their gazes lost in the star-strewn expanse above. A telescope looms silently, a mere instrument against the backdrop of infinite stars. A wave of humbling wonder washes over them as they contemplate their place in the vast universe. In the palace gardens, Cinderella tenderly plants a young tree, envisioning a future of growth and prosperity for her kingdom. She imagines the tree soaring high, its branches a testament to the potential within every citizen. Cinderella and the prince stand side by side, their sincerity shining before the kingdom. Their voices resonate through the throne room, filled with heartfelt promises of service. Cinderella's voice rings with conviction. We pledge to create a world where kindness prevails. The prince's solemn vow echoes through the hall, and where everyone can live happily ever after. Cinderella and the prince stand together on the palace balcony, greeted by the joyous cheers of the crowd. Surrounded by admiration, they stand united, knowing their love has sparked positive change. The kingdom thrives under their compassionate rule, a testament to their enduring love and dedication.